Not gone live in a while. I did some proofreads maybe like a week and a half ago, and I'm going to be doing some, but for now, I'm going to be giving you these daily doses as well, okay? And I know I owe the cardinal signs a reading as well. So, I'm using some music in the background. I don't know. It feels very nice right now because somebody's playing wifey out there, okay? In the ether in the hood over here in the Bronx. And I'm over here playing Maxwell. It's just for ambiance in the background. But in terms of the cards that I'm going to be using today, I'm using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, okay? These are Oracle cards and they are astrologically driven, right? So what is this? This would be like Sun and Scorpio endurance, right? And then I'm also going to be using those in tandem with the Napolitana, right? I believe that's it. It's kind of like tarot. It doesn't have major arcana, but it also does not have a queen. But if you want to, you can use like the pages as the queens. But for me, I think that the threes being so in that way is good because they're related to the Empress and the natural tarot. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to be shuffling these cards, and I'm going to have like 3 stories going on here, I guess. I'm going to do 3 stacks with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and then I'm going to be doing a 3 stack maybe with this one as well, you know. So yeah, we're just gonna do that. How have you guys been doing? Hey, oh my gosh, it's your birthday today? Are you kidding me? Happy birthday! You know, I saw you on IG, because, you know, we follow each other. So I was looking at your pictures. Okay, you were definitely painted, honey. So today is the day. Happy birthday, my love. Capricorns. You know, Capricorns bring stability to people like me, Libras, right? What we got here? Health. Okay, so that's going to be for some people. You're welcome. Do you have anything special planned? While I shuffle these cards, we can definitely talk about your birthday, honey. Oh, also, if you have booked a reading with me, I promise you will get it within the next 2 days. Because I have the next 2 days off. Okay? I don't have any sort of, like, responsibilities. I have a couple, but, like, you know, I can, like, put all of my focus on, like, doing readings on this side. Because, you know, I also read at Shanti Bookshop and Crystal Gallery in New York City, 230 East 14th Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues. Open 7 days a week. Okay, so I'm almost done shuffling these cards. And the Oracle of the Radiant Sun is really great because it definitely brings up... Let me go ahead and just have a sip of this. I should have some water. I have some water over there, and I looked at it, and I was like, it's in that bottle. It's definitely not coming out of the fridge, so it's not going to be cold. But then I was like, it's water. Let me not take it for granted. Hello. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I just want to grab that water. And I do not want this agate to fall because it's literally hanging on by its like, oh my God. Okay, so the agate didn't fall, but my iPad almost did. I got you though. Okay, so let's look at these cards. So I'm gonna flip over the top of the first pile. You can use, there's pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. You can listen to all of the messages. Some of them may just resonate with you, particularly if you're going through a particular circumstance or situation. Maybe all 3 of them will resonate with you. You don't have to force it or anything like that, okay? And it could just be something coming. So this is great. This is Jupiter and Leo, okay? And this is publicity. So you guys, if you are trying to create something, if you're trying to bring something to the public, if you want people to know what it is that you do or what you can do or what you can be, you have to show it. And you have to present it in a way that it's going to be liked because it's Leo. And you have to do it frequently. You know, you can't just do it one time and be like, I showed it. You have to be frequent with it. And that's what Jupiter talks about the frequency of things, you know. Jupiter is the esoteric ruler. I always do this because it's on a soul level of Aquarius, and Aquarius is talking about the wavelength. Aquarius is talking about humanity. Aquarius is talking about the energy, energetic, right? It's like the energetic focus, right? How are you focusing your energy? And that's how publicity is working. You know what I mean? It's a focus of energy, trying to get it out there, right? It's very pointed, but then everyone gets to see it, right? So I'm getting editing as well, right? Make it so that it's ready for when it's time, you know, because really in the tarot, Jupiter in Leo is the Six of Wands. So it's related to the sixth house of practice, right? Efficiency, you know, getting something poised, getting something ready, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, like that type of thing. You know what I mean? And then it also says like you're on your way to being recognized for something, you know, and it's being recognized for it because you do it well. You know, it's like that RuPaul song, you wear it well, right? So just be that which that you want to be. It's like in order to become that which you want to be, you have to be that which you want to become. That type of thing. You see what I mean? And it also is talking about taking risks. You know what I mean? So maybe there's some risks that you need to take that's going to maybe help you overcome some fears, or it's going to help you cross some boundaries that you have with yourself or that you have with your own creativity that's being blocked. And it's not that it's being blocked because you can't come up with anything creative to do. It's because you aren't putting it out there the way that you could be, right? Because Leo, the 12th house is Cancer. So there's part of you that wants to protect yourself from the scrutiny of others. And that's why you might be holding yourself back from like really doing it on a level. So it's time to elevate something here, you know? And let's go ahead and see what the card is at the bottom of that. Okay, here we go. Two of Pentacles, right? And what is that? That's Jupiter in Capricorn, right? And Leo and Capricorn are both that first ray of willpower, right? And initiative. You know what I mean? Like, how are you initiating something? And what's the initial thought pattern, right? What was the initial thought that sparked the whole thing? You know, that's always getting in a situation where you kind of like put something at risk. You put yourself out there on a limb, or you put yourself out there, but then when you do that, you realize the sensitivities to the situation. It's kind of like with that Two of Pentacles energy is usually somebody with the Pentacles trying to weigh some things out. It's like, all right, I'm in the situation now. You know, I'm trying to be very active with it now. I'm trying to maintain my sense of balance, my sense of poise. You know, I'm also like being strengthened through my weaknesses, you know what I mean? Because I'm being able to see past like the surface level of things, you know what I mean? I can see past the material and what it really means to do this work now. It's like I have a product, yes, it's beautiful, yes, but it's like there's something else behind the presence of the product that has to push it, right? That's why you have that sailboat or that ship on the water, and it's kind of like, whoa, and the person with the pentacles are like, oh my god, this is like more than I bargained for, right? And you need to do something sometimes. You need to put yourself out there, and you need to get involved in things that were more than you bargained for, that are healthy and for your best interest, because you need to be tested. And this is testing you to see how strong you are. It's testing you to see what's the endurance. It's testing you to see if you have the stamina to do what it is that you want to do, right? Because it's like we have big dreams, but you know, you got to work your way up to those dreams. And it talks about conditioning too. You've got to push yourself past the limitations of the conditionings that you are familiar with. Second house Taurus, you know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Okay, come on, Daily Dose. All right. We got the King of Pentacles behind the Two of Pentacles. So you're going to do it. You're going to get there. You know what I mean? But you have to believe that you are this thing. Because, you know, it's like, it's so funny because all the kings are almost like Aries, but elevated, you know? Because Aries is I am. And you have to believe that you are the king to be the king, first of all, right? So then you're elevated. So you've taken the initiative. It's the initial, right? The beginning of something big, right? The beginning of something big. So now we've had the idea, right? And now it's time to push past the idealization of it all, right? The dream of like having it and get into the work of doing it so that you can be it, so that you can become it. This is related to the two, high priestess. It's also related to the two, judgment, right? So it's transformation, okay, that comes through hard work. That's why Mars, that rules Scorpio, is exalted in Capricorn. Okay. So now let's go. It's I want to walk with you, babe. That's what Maxwell's saying. I'm playing Urban Hang Suite. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Only if it's cool, okay? Okay, so health, Sun and Virgo, right? This is what I've been talking about, right? So we are in Capricorn season. In Capricorn, the devil card, right, is number 6. It's actually 15. But if you reduce it, it's a 6. So it's related to the lovers and it's related to Virgo, the 6th house. And it talks about work that pays off. And that's why it's healthy to allow yourself to test yourself and to go through bouts of, peaks and valleys of things. Some adjustments need to be made for our own health and our own sanity, right? Mercury ruling Virgo. Because sometimes we don't have everything right. And that's why Virgo knows that. That's why Virgo is critical, right? So it's like health. What is that? Virgo is an earth sign. So it's talking about your body. How do you treat your body? How do you dress your body? How do you feed your body? How do you nourish your body? How do you take care of it? You know what I mean? Look, it's hygiene. It's all of that stuff. It's mental hygiene. It's physical hygiene. It's spiritual hygiene. You see what I mean? And it's financial hygiene as well. All of those things come together. Everything comes together. You know? And it's like your practical the practical side of your life is going through a transformation. The practical side of your life is being illuminated in a new way, and you're being shown that you can be a better version of that which you once were. You know what I mean? And that's why Virgo is so critical. That's why it's so like diagnostic, right? Because it wants you to get better. It wants you to kind of like heal from the ailments that keep you from being the best version of yourself, from thriving. You know what I mean? So, how are you going to maintain what you have? Because Taurus, the first earth sign, gave you stuff. Right now, I have stuff. How are you going to maintain that? You can lose it all. And that's what the devil card talks about most of the time. Use your talent if you don't use it. You can lose it if you don't use it, right? Have you ever heard that term? Move it or look, my ear. Move it or lose it. Use it or lose it. Okay? So that was the first stack. Let's go ahead and see what's going on over here in this second stack. Yeah. Submission. Venus in Pisces. Okay. Okay. Somebody wants to be around. Somebody wants to be around. Somebody could be a little bit needy. It's Pisces. So this is the beauty that something will always be there for you to turn to when you need it. So don't take advantage of something or don't take something for granted, right? That's what this is saying. Don't take something for granted. Don't think that someone is more submissive than you because like as soon as you take it for granted, the option is still there for it to leave you. You know what I mean? So you might need to submit to something that needs your time, attention. Yeah. So it's like submit to something that needs your time and attention, right? Because this bird isn't flying away because it needs something. And it would rather. I don't know. Without you here by my side or something like that. So some of you guys need to express how you feel about something. Also it is like healing through the beautification of your surroundings and your life. You know what I mean? It's like that's why Venus is exalted in Pisces, because if your surrounding environment is beautiful, you won't want to escape it. You know what I mean? You gave me the feeling. So it's like hopefully you would desire to, um, I don't know, just, you know, give in to this okay. This card is giving me like judgment card vibes, right? Just because it's Venus and Pisces, okay? Venus and Pisces to me is kind of like that energy of the Two of Cups, even though that's Venus and Cancer. It's also that energy of like the Judgment card, right? Because it's a two. So it's talking about relationships, it's talking about relating, it's talking about balance, okay? And Pisces, that's esoterically ruled by Pluto, right? And that's the last thing, right? So this is saying that you need to submit to something, right? You need to give into something. You need to let go. You need to learn to let go, right? Stop being so hard. Be a little bit softer. You know what I mean? For some of you guys out there, you know? Softer with yourself, right? Because if you're not like lashing out at people or being hard on other people, then you need to stop being so hard on yourself. You know, and this could be in terms of like your creativity or your art, right? And also like stop blocking yourself off from something. You could be cutting yourself off from something. You don't want to make yourself vulnerable, right? Because you don't want to get your feelings hurt. But it's okay to get your feelings hurt every now and then because it makes you stronger, right? Coming from someone who gets their feelings hurt all the time. It's no one else's fault. You know what I mean? It's just like my makeup. So let's see what's going on here because let's get, okay. This is the Knight of Wands under here where the submission is. And the Knight of Wands is like Sagittarius energy. So you got Pisces and you got Sagittarius energy. So that's a square. So there's a bit of tension here, right? Someone feels taken for granted, you know? Someone might be a little bit selfish and detached from their own behavior, you know? And that's why, I mean, some of you might even just be exhausted with this person, and that's why that Venus and Pisces submission card is here. You could just be tired, right? Some of you, in general, just are tired. I don't know why. You know, because with Venus being Pisces, it's exalted. And that's like giving in or submitting because you want to. So some of you could be submitting to the to the advances or to someone's approach. You know, someone could be like very someone could be intimidating. Their energy could be just because they're so, and that's why this Knight of Wands is here. Somebody who's like, oh my God, like you're just a little bit too much, or you're just very extra, and like the opposite, right? Or you could be extra and they're the opposite, you know, because this is a different story. But this is light as a feather, you know, very delicate, Venus being in Pisces. And then this is like Sagittarius energy coming in and riling things up and shaking things up. So maybe you need to submit to this person. Maybe some of you need to stop being, you know, playing hard to get. Oh, shit. Sorry. Maybe some of you need to stop playing hard to get, right? I'm going to show you these two. So you'll see what I mean by that. Playing hard to get. The cage is open, honey. You're like, oh, you can come in, but it's too small. You can't really get in. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, no, I'm not coming out. So if I don't come out, you won't get to see me or you won't get to play me. So it's like the cooperation, right? Some of you may not be wanting to cooperate with this this energy of the Knight of Wands because it's just too much. It's not like it's intimidating. You just don't want to deal with it, you know? Could be that. You know, it's kind of like disturbing the peace for you, this person, kind of, in a way. And you might be wanting to create some kind of boundary with them. You need to. because here we have Pisces, which is talking about boundaries, yes. Venus is attracting, you know. And maybe you just need to be more aware of how and the reasons why people are attracted to you. You see what I'm saying? Um, Honey, I hope that I can plug this phone in so that, like, it doesn't, like, die. Honey bunny. Oh, my God. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna leave it. Sorry. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. Let's look at the other side. Sun in Scorpio, right, see? And Four of Swords. You know, sometimes when people are hot, we like having sex with them. Sorry if you're under 18, you know, whatever. If you're not of age. But I did put that it was not for kids, so it's okay. Um, because it's Sun in Scorpio and it's endurance. Like I said, endurance and stamina. We talked about that earlier, but now we're talking about sexual endurance and stamina. You know what I mean? Maybe somebody's just doing the most with all of that. Because this is Venus, light as a feather, soft as a flower. And then we have this, like, energy of, like, the Knight of Wands, right? And then it turns into endurance, right? Bam, endurance. And then you have the Four of Swords, which is sometimes the Four of Swords is like ideas or someone's opinion or your mind or your expression being taken for granted, right? And that's what this is here with this Venus in Pisces submission, Knight of Wands, endurance, which is kind of like the Strength card, and it's an 8, and then the Four of Swords, which fours are always like Emperor energy, and the Emperor usually takes things for granted, but then it's like Cancer energy with Cancer being the 4th house, so it's like someone is taking something for granted. So now it's time to kind of like make some space, create some space here with this Jupiter in Libra, right? You know, don't let people overstep their boundaries. And when people do overstep their boundaries with you, you have to let them know and you have to check them. You know what I mean? Sometimes, right? And don't be shy about telling people what it is that you need to tell them if it's because they need to respect your boundaries. Okay? So that's what we're talking about with that one right there. People respecting your boundaries. So go ahead and let that sink in. All right, let's look at the third one. Saturn in Aries. Risk. Ooh, I like it. And the Six of Wands, which is very much like Jupiter and Leo energy. But then you got Saturn and Aries. And Saturn and Aries is like, you know, consequences for your actions, right? And sometimes it's like sometimes when you take a risk, you know consequences for your actions, but there might be a reward and there might be a payoff if you actually make it past whatever the risk or the obstacle was that would have been able to stop you, harm, hurt, maim, prevent, you know, deter, right? So this is against all odds and against the obstacles, right? You can do it. And that's what the Six of Wands is here supporting it. You know what I mean? Bam. Right? So this is like a great strategy too that's coming into this. Like you're taking a risk, but you have a great strategy. And your plan is to succeed, Jupiter and Leo. You know what I mean? Hello, this is really good for some of you. You guys know what I'm talking about too. The plan is to succeed. You know, this is very much fire sign energy. Aries and Leo, you know. To I can and I will. To be and to create. So that's really great. And some of you are you know, taking a risk in terms of like maybe applying for a job or something, you know, or taking a risk in terms of changing your career, you know. So that's like what that Six of Wands energy is, taking a risk in terms of changing your career or changing focus on what your concentration is in terms of your career or your professional life. And then this is also that because it's Saturn in Aries, you know. On the other side, we have Venus and Libra, which is indecision, okay? And that's what probably was holding you back a little bit. Bam. So we have indecision, which is Venus and Libra. And then we have the Three of Swords, which is like Saturn and Libra, right? Okay. So this is saying that we have a responsibility to live our lives for ourselves and not for other people. Because when we live our lives for other people, we realize that um, we kind of like rob ourselves or rid ourselves of the options to choose what is going to be better for us. And the Three of Swords asks you to choose what's better for you, right? And not because pressure is being put on you, not because you're intimidated, and not because, you know, people think that you're going to continue to settle or continue to allow them to disrespect your who you are, right? So it's like people taking you for granted, perhaps, or people just not thinking that you can do the things that you know you can do. You know what I mean? That's that kind of thing too. It's like value. You know, this is asking you, what do you value more? You know, what do you value more? Okay, and it's also related to time, right? That candle over there is popping. Um, yeah, it's a job. I feel like some of you are like undergoing stress in a work environment, or some of you could be undergoing a little bit of stress in a home environment, because Cancer rules or Cancer is the third ray, okay? And then this is also related to the Empress, which is like the mother, right? That type of energy. So it could be like a family business that you're working for, or it could just be like some sibling kind of stuff, confusing, like um, unclear situation, you know? It could be like that, or you're being restricted. What you're able to say is restricted, but you have a lot going on your mind, but you can only say so much. You know what I mean? Whatever the situation is, whatever this relationship is, whatever this work thing is, it's like you definitely should be searching for a way out. You know, because time is of the essence, definitely. And it's saying like you can experience success and you can experience happiness elsewhere. You know, you don't have to be in this situation here. You can experience happiness in another situation, because you weren't meant to stay in things that have their expiration date. You know, everything has an expiration date, and every relationship will have an expiration date, even if it's all the way through to the end of your life. You know what I mean? Just remember that, you know? And you're only bound by people because you know, you might allow yourself to be bound by it. And this situation right here doesn't deserve the mental attachment that you have towards it, you know, because it's taking away from your freedom and it's taking away from your perspective. You know what I mean? All right, I feel like that's it, you guys and girls, and them and they and theirs. I love you all. And this was your first daily dose from me, so look for more of these. That was 30 minutes. It was supposed to be like 20, but this is still kind of cute. I'm liking it. So health, think about that. Endurance, if you're doing something, stick with it. If you're doing a workout regimen, stick with it. You know what I mean? If you're trying to learn some new program on your computer so that you can come up with better content, or you can do the thing that you wanted to do, but you know it takes a little bit of time and effort, do that. If you're indecisive about leaving a situation that doesn't really respect or deserve you, then what are you thinking? You know, leave that, right? Okay. And then publicity. Some of you, don't be afraid to show us what your gift is. That's what you were given. That's why you were physically manifested into this body, so that you could do that. See what I mean? All right, Max. Well, Thank you all. I will talk to you soon. And also, just a reminder to those people that have booked readings with me, you're going to be getting those soon. All right, I'll talk to you later. Follow me on Instagram. It's Providence Tarot. And my personal account is NYC Kendrick. And if you are watching on YouTube, like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video. Bye. Happy New Year. And happy birthday, Bougie and Beat. Gratefulness and thankfulness for your love. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate you all being here. Santa, Santa. All right, so if you guys are just tuning in, I'm Kendrick from Providence Tarot. And, just slide back to the beginning of the video and watch it from there. Bye.